Welcome to Sopra Voices, the Sopra Steria podcast that gives a voice to our colleagues across the world. I'm your host, Okobone, and today we're joined by Christel Le Goaziou from Sopra Steria France. After 14 years at the aerospace industry, Christel joined Sopra Steria, making a courageous leap. At 42 years old, with 3 young children and a fresh perspective, she dived in. So let's do the same. Hello, Christel, and welcome to this first podcast of the series Balance Mode On. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Great, you're great. Okay, and let's start with a very first simple question. Who are you? Can you tell a bit more about yourself, and also what is your role in Sopra Steria?
Yes, so I am the Compliance and Export Control Manager at Sopra Steria. I make sure that we follow all the regulations nationally and internationally that are related to anti-corruption, anti-bribery, sanction and embargo, and export control.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
For me, this sounds quite complicated, so I will ask my question again. If you would have to explain your role, what you do at Sopra Steria to a child, how would you explain it in a more simple way?
We had to make sure that we don't do bad things, and we had to comply with the regulation, even though it's maybe too complicated for a child, but yeah, that we don't do bad things and we act ethically and responsibly within the company.
And so if you could give one concrete example of a bad thing, what would be the clearest example?
One of the example that I have in mind that we don't do is to export sensitive technology without having the proper authorization from the government.
I can imagine compliance is maybe not on one project only, but you are involved in different projects within Sopra Steria. How does it work?
It works from the beginning when we have an RFP and we had to comply with compliance requirement from the customer and also from the market. So I'm analyzing the contract, I'm analyzing all the documents. Then during the project, I make sure that we comply with all the contractual obligation that we have related to compliance and trade compliance as well, until the project and the delivery of the project.
Okay, so at the end of the day, what would make you happy? Is it that we, like you said, don't do anything bad? Is it that the project is successful? Is it that we completely comply with everything that was in the contract? What makes you happy at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, what makes me happy is to find acceptable means of compliance, okay? Because sometimes we have to decide if we will change slightly a requirement or not in a procedure or in a contract or any document. And the thing is, when you win an RFP and that we comply with all the requirements that we must fulfill, I'm happy. And I'm happy to see the team winning the RFP as well.
Okay, good, interesting. Okay, now I know a bit about what your role entails, so that's great. So I already mentioned it in the introduction. You worked 14 years in the aerospace industry. So after you joined Sopra Steria, when was it?
It was 10 months ago.
So since 10 months now, you've joined Sopra Steria. It was a big change, I can imagine.
Yes, it was.
Was it a hard change or was it a natural move for you? What made you want to change at 42 years old? What told you now is the moment?
I don't know actually what was the reason of this move. Probably like a feeling I was in my mind, okay, I had a wonderful journey in my previous company and I was like, okay, maybe I need to change something. I feel complete at home with my 3 wonderful daughters and I would like to change something. And I had this opportunity to work at Sopra Steria with new product, a new team, new challenge also, because during my 14 years in the aerospace market, I was working for a business unit and not in the headquarters, because the headquarters was abroad. And joining an headquarters and leading the compliance program at the headquarters was something that I really want to make in my professional path.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's really a step up to lead such a
Yes.
huge program. And also, what we didn't mention yet, you took over this project when it was still in its first baby steps, I would say, in its early stage. So that was on top of the fact that you changed with your family and starting as a program lead. The fact that it was so new, I guess, also an extra challenge.
We had a very good basis in this compliance program, but a lot of things to improve. Improve to be the best in class in terms of compliance or in terms of export control. So yeah, a lot of challenges, but I had a wonderful team within all the vertical that onboard me and explain me where they are, what I can do, what we can do as a team, because we are definitely stronger together, and it's one of the value of Sopra Steria. And what we can do to improve the compliance program.
Yeah. Okay, that's an inspiring story, actually. So that's also something I want to dive deeper in, because you are now working on a high pressure, high level job. As you said, you're involved in a lot of different projects. You have this role, but you also have the role as mother of 3 very young children. How do you balance both? What do you feel, what skills in one role do you take to the other one, and how do you find the best way to balance both work and life?
The first thing is to not make a frontier between work and the personal life. When I ask to my daughters, how was the school today? They ask me, and how was the work today? You see? Yeah. And I explain, not in details, you can imagine, but I explain, I did a contract review. I talk with this person. We talk about this project. And they are very curious. And have you done some call today? Yes, I make some call. And, children are like, they're asking questions and then they are think about another. But yeah, the first thing is I don't make frontier. I talk about work at home. And I think it's a good thing. But also, there is time, and the quality time for the children, for me, it's really important. The number of hours spent with your children doesn't replace the quality of the time that you spent with them. And my objective is to be at home for the dinner.
Okay.
Because it's important to have dinner with them, to talk.
Yeah.
And then the bedtime story, it's also a routine that I have no confirmation for that. It's really important. So it's how I try to do the balance.
Yeah.
The time in the morning when I prepare my 3 daughters, and the time in the evening, it's really important.
Okay.
But I try to be very focused. No phone, and no looking at my email or Teams. Only my children.
Yeah.
And then when they sleep, I can take a look. But usually I can wait the day after. There is no.
That's nice. So you really, during the time that you're with your children, you are there and you're not at work. I think that's a good advice. That would be my next question. Like, naturally, what would be your advice to other women aspiring to have both a high pressure, high level job, at the same time manage to have their family and see their children and be there and have quality time with them? Do you have like a concrete advice for those people?
I think that the first thing is, don't try to be a superwoman, and let's have the perfection. Just have like chit chat with your kids, but don't aim for perfection. You see, and relax.
That's a very good one, and I also think that having a company that supports you in balancing. Do you feel like Sopra Steria did well on that part? Do you feel supported?
I feel totally supported. From the first interview, the final interview actually that I had with my manager, until then, you see, because when I had the final interview, the fact that I have 3 young kids, it's something that I share personally, because it's part of me, of my life. And I haven't had to ask something, but my manager told me, oh, yeah, the value of the family, it's something very important at Sopra Steria, and we value that. So based on that, I had all the things to perceive that this company had very good value. When you place the family inside the core value of the company, for me, it's a very good sign.
I agree. It's a value. It's literally a value of Sopra Steria to be people centric. So that's a very nice story, and I think a good one for people to know that it is possible. Like, you are the living proof of showing that it is possible to combine both, like a high level job and a family. So that's very nice. And I was also wondering, is there for you a skill or a competence that you learned or acquired during either your job at Sopra Steria, either in your family, that you use in the other job?
Yes, of course. Listening my daughters and listening the people.
Okay.
When I started at Sopra Steria, and when you lead a compliance program that you have to improve, that you have to disseminate, you have to train people as well, it's really important to listen first. Yeah. Listen what they have to tell you, listen what can be improved. It's really important. And this is something that is also important when you have parents, to listen children and not only say you have to do this or you have to do that or clean your room. No, you listen, and then, of course, you decide what is the best for them. Yeah. And when I started, it's exactly what I've done. During the first week, I listen people, I interview people, I communicate with people one-on-one, as a team, in a group. What are your needs? What do you think that can be improved? You need training? Okay. What kind of requirements you need? Well, what I can share with you that will help you.
For me, it's a bit like you mentioned before, that the time you spend with your children is really about the quality of the time.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that maybe that's also how you work with the team, to really be there. Also, when you talk with your team, to really listen and
the active listening. Yeah, and this is something that it's really important, to listen that actively, and not in a passive way. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's very interesting. I think so far your story is very positive, and I love it. But I can imagine sometimes you also jump into some challenges, the maybe less nice ones, because it must not be easy, first of all, to lead such a big program. It must not be easy to switch jobs at 42, to balance work and life. So I can imagine you also have some challenges to share. What is something that maybe comes to mind immediately?
I have challenges almost every day. So I don't have one concrete example to share with you. Maybe once that happened a few weeks ago, I had to explain to an executive committee what will be, for me, based on my perception, after 10 months of seeing how the projects are going, what will be the best strategy. Okay? And when you propose a strategy, you have to convince people. You have also to reassure people that it will be fine, and I think it will be the best way. I explained the strategy, so in a short a period of time. I had only 15 minutes, so it was on 2 slides. But it's a strategy that I hope will be followed, and I hope we will see in the future in this vertical. So let's see. But yeah, it was challenging because I change everything.
Okay, yeah. And change is often quite hard.
It's quite hard. It's quite hard because when you change things, you also change the way the people will work on this specific part of the process. And it can be the management change. It's not easy. Yeah, you have people that are doing what they have done since years, and if this strategy will be applied in the coming months, it will change slightly. But here, again, I explained that they will have all my support during this transition time. Okay, and this is important to not drop strategy and then have a new organization in place and let people, okay, let's dive in this new strategy now. You have to be there at the group level and to represent that it will maybe not be easy at the beginning, but at the end we will see a really good benefits on the work and how the project will go smoothly.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with change. It's never easy and it's always a long-term process. It's like change cannot be successful from one day to another. And I mean, I think you are again living proof that change can be a very positive thing. Well, at least I hope you're very happy in your new role and you're happy with the change you did. So you mentioned that Sopra Steria did very well in supporting you during your change. Do you still feel that Sopra Steria now also supports you in the balancing the private life and the work life?
Yes, of course. We Sopra Steria offer flexibility. I had the change, and I'm touching wood. That my children are not too often sick.
Okay.
But I had some medical appointments, and I can stop and then connect to have this medical appointment.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I want to pick up my kids at school, it's something that I can do also.
Okay.
See, so
Okay.
it's very flexible.
That's good. Yeah, and I think, well, I can imagine you talk with friends, family about your situation. So maybe you also sometimes hear stories that are less positive, maybe employers that are less supportive. Do you see a way how, in general, companies can do better in supporting women that have a family and at the same time have a job that demands a lot from them?
Offer flexibility, trust the people.
Yeah.
You see, it's really important to trust the people. It's not because someone will tell you, oh, I have a medical appointment, I won't be there during 1 hour, but then I will connect. Trust him, trust her. And this trust will be a gain before, for sure. Yeah. And Sopra Steria had really this value.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. You talk about trust and because I hear you say trust a lot, that's for sure a very key thing to make sure in general people feel comfortable in your company. I'm thinking I have one question for you, and that's the surprise question. It's a light question. So we've been talking about change constantly. So imagine if you were talking to yourself, but your 10-year-old self, and you would have to share an advice or a message about embracing change with her. What would be your message?
My message would be to be confident. Be confident in you. Be confident on the other as well. Okay, because your confidence it's also growing with the confidence that people have in you. Okay, so trust people. Have confidence in you, and it will be fine.
I think that's because I can also imagine that a lot of people have in mind to make a big change, but it seems too scary, or it seems like they will not succeed in it. So maybe that's my very last question for you. What would you say was a skill that was very key for you during this process? Like what skill did you really rely on during your change from the aerospace industry to going to Sopra Steria and leading this big program? What is a thing that you feel I could not have done without?
The first thing is the curiosity. Curiosity to go outside my comfort zone. On paper, it was the worst moment to have this move.
Yeah.
With a baby that did not sleep at all.
Okay.
But with a trial period where I wake up 10 times during the night.
Yeah.
But I was curious. Curious to discover new projects. Curious to see another culture, company culture. And yes, the curiosity was, I think, the first thing that helped me to to do this change, even though it was not the best period. But at the end, when I take a look in the past 10 months before, I really make the change at the good moment, you see, and now it's perfect.
That's good. That's in general a very nice story and a very inspiring message. So I want to thank you for your openness, for sharing messages, for sharing your insights, and especially for hopefully being an inspiration for other young women who would like to make one day a big, courageous leap as you did.
I hope
so
so.
thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. If you want to know more about Sopra Steria, make sure to check out our career website or follow us on social media.